interesting. Somebody said to me, Alina, would you rather be smart or pretty? And I said, oh, easy, pretty. I can fake being smart. You have to be honest. It doesn't hurt to be good looking in this world, in the PR world, on TV. It doesn't hurt. And when you're good looking, that's great, but it can also mean people think you're stupid, or people think that President Trump hired me because I was good looking. That is absolutely not the case.
So that is Trump lawyer Alina Habba. And that was pretty interesting. I could fake being smart. Oh, really? Well, if that's the case, are you going to start trying yet? I'm not seeing it. I mean, again, she mentioned had a little bit of a moment of self-awareness when she said, people think President Trump hired me because I'm good looking. Well, that's not true. Wait, how is there any evidence of that? I don't think, of course, that's the entire reason. But as she said, it doesn't hurt to be pretty, especially when your client is a man-child, of course. Now, I do think that the main reason that she was hired is because she's absolutely shameless, right? She's one of those, a parking garage lawyer or an ambulance chaser, that kind of thing. And look, she's more than willing to lie on Donald Trump's behalf. We've seen it, to say ridiculous things that Trump wants her to say. And so, of course, she's going to be somebody that Donald Trump had hired because she's willing to do these things. She's willing to put herself and her career in trouble. Look, she was sanctioned $1 million by a federal judge for bringing a frivolous case. Yeah, against Hillary Clinton. And then she bragged about getting sanctioned. The judge in that case wrote in his opinion, quote, "Here we are confronted with a lawsuit that should have never been filed, which was completely frivolous, both factually and legally, and which was brought in bad faith for an improper purpose. Mr. Trump is a prolific and sophisticated litigant who was repeatedly using the courts to seek revenge on political adversaries. He is the mastermind of strategic abuse of the judicial process, and he cannot be seen as a litigant blindly following the advice of a lawyer." That lawyer, of course, being Habba. Now, the complaint, he said, is a hodgepodge of disconnected, often immaterial events, followed by an implausible conclusion. This is a deliberate attempt to harass, to tell a story without regard to facts. Yes, sure, but facts and evidence.
Just forget about the evidence.
Who cares? Who cares? If you're a MAGA chud, you don't need no evidence. If you're Donald Trump, you don't need no evidence. Of course. Look, if getting sanctioned by the court is smart, I don't know. I don't want to know what kind of depths of stupidity Habba is actually capable of. Although we did get a little bit of a taste here, because right after that podcast, she then went on Fox News to say the quiet part out loud.
I think it should be a slam dunk in the Supreme Court. I have faith in them. You know, people like Kavanaugh, who the president fought for, who the president went through hell to get into place. He'll step up. Those people will step up, not because they're pro-Trump, but because they're pro-law, because they're pro-fairness. And the law on this is very clear.
Hey, you know what that sounds like? Hey, remember, you owe Trump. He got you into that position. Isn't that quid pro quo? That's why she added, of course, not because they're pro-Trump, but pro-law. Really, which law? You're a lawyer. Can you cite the law? Any law that prevents a state from taking a candidate off a ballot. Do you have one? Do you have an example? No, of course not. It doesn't exist. Now, that said, is she right about the fact that Kavanaugh might, and other conservatives might, on the Supreme Court, step up and restoring Donald Trump to a ballot if he gets kicked off enough of them? Yeah, probably. That's not because of any law. It's because they're ideologues. It would be because they owe him. And so here she is sending that signal of, remember who got you into that lifelong position. Okay? Remember. And now, I have very low opinion of the Supreme Court because it's very conservative. I would actually believe that ideologically they would back Trump because they would rather have a conservative over anyone else. They, of course, could make up a reason like, oh, no, kicking them off the ballot using the insurrection clause in the 14th Amendment, Section 3, that would be a bad precedent. We can't do that. That would lead to chaos and all that stuff. Yeah, insert whatever BS excuse you like. I just think that they're going to do this because they have a loyalty and an ideology that is pro-Trump, pro-Trumpism, and so that's just how I personally feel about it. But getting back to Haba, okay, I don't think threatening a judge, remember, you owe Trump, is a sound, smart strategy. Especially when you do have popular opinion of the Supreme Court being at an all-time low because of the fact that they seem to be compromised. Just saying, it doesn't look very smart. It looks stupid.